Scrollies, coming to your ears today only. Well, that's a lie. It's actually going to be in your phone, on your computer, for a really long time, perhaps until we stop paying for the hosting. It's me, Team Ratnado, of the Scrollies podcast. You may have heard of our off-brand Space Scrollies. You can also get that too in its form. There's also Scrollies, Oops All Berries. That hasn't been released in the Western world yet, though. And I'm here with my co-host...
Right. Hello?
You're saying... I can hear you, Sqat. Sqat! I'm talking. I've already...
Silly me, I didn't have my headphones plugged in. I thought Rat was just miming this episode. Hello, everyone. SqatCobblr here.
It's SqatCobblr. Hey, the thing about SqatCobblr is we're not really sure where he is in time right now. He may have caught up. Technically, time is not necessarily concurrent. He's got headphones now too, so something's either happening in cowboy times or who knows.
You know, I found a red hat, so I'd say that I'm closer to present than I was before.
I'm really glad to hear that because the times here in 2022 are rough. Internet is becoming scarce, SqatCobblr, here in the future. We just have roving bands running around looking and fighting for secure internet.
Ugh, that sounds like a dystopian nightmare. Well, hopefully 2023 proves to be the year of upload speeds.
Year of the rat, baby.
Year of the rat. Let's go.
When was the last year of the monkey?
Last year of the monkey? Every year is year of the monkey, if you ask me. But I suppose technically speaking, it would have been 2014, the release of Tropical Freeze. I know it came out in 2018 on the Switch with new funky mode, but I'm talking strictly in new games, people. We had a short-lived year of the monkey in 2018, I want to say, with DK Adventure, part of Mario plus Rabbids, their DLC for that, which currently being played through on the SqatCobblr YouTube.
Hey, I went and I watched the first episode, the first one that went out.
Cinnamon Toast shoutout said that the AOL You Got Mail gave him PTSD. So sorry about that, Cinnamon.
Oh man, check out the SqatCobblr YouTube. I'm sure it's linked here. Right, look down there right now. Everyone, look. Is it there?
I'm looking. It's there at the very bottom. Okay, I see it.
All right,
it was hiding.
New challenge, everyone. This is the push subscribe and watch challenge. You have to do it, and if you don't,
yeah, let's make that a trend. The push subscribe, like, share, and
we're just backing our way into being every other YouTuber.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Oh man, no, that's great. Sqat, man, it's been an interesting time. We always ask each other what we're playing, so let's stick to formula. Sqat, I think I kind of know. Can I guess what you've been playing?
I wouldn't even imagine how you could guess what I've been playing. As if there was some online service that was just displaying my current activities to the world constantly. But give it your best shot. What have I been playing, Ratnado?
You've been playing, of course, everybody knows, Zoombinis.
Zoombinis? Oh my gosh. I'm a Zoombinis fan now?
Yeah. I just thought people should know. I think it's very cool that you came out and you were saying you had it just blast in there on your Steam, was it?
Yeah, on the Steam.
It's not Zoombinis. I'm sorry. You look very upset. What is it, Sqat? What have you been playing?
Well, Zoombinis I strictly play in offline mode, just out of shame. I can't have the world knowing. But I'll tell you what, I have been playing a lot on the Steam. On the Steam Deck, and maybe we'll talk a little more about this device in this episode. But what haven't I been playing? I did fully play through Tomb Raider 2013. I finished that up last week, and it was a decent game, I thought. I was looking online, like what are, because an Indiana Jones trailer came out. And the movie's probably not going to be any good, but it got me, thinking, I could go for some classic adventure, some world trekking. What's the best Indiana Jones games? Okay, let's see. The best Indiana Jones games are called Uncharted and Tomb Raider.
Oh,
Well, there you go. So, I got them all for free on Epic a while back, but I think I also got the first one free on Steam, so I forget which one I played on. But yeah, I played the first one. That's just regular old Tomb Raider without any other subtitle or anything. I think it came out 2013. And yeah, there are the other ones, Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I believe shout out Straxa played one of those, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I want to say, a while back. So maybe I'll play those ones next, but gonna take my sweet time because I'm playing a lot on the Steam Deck right now. So all things in proper timing. Ratnado, how about yourself?
Well, Sqat, I thought you were gonna say Indiana Jones in the Infernal Machine, the N64 game that you could only rent from Blockbuster. That actually, people say it's actually pretty good.
A true relic right there, a Blockbuster only N64 card. That's archaeologists are going to be digging that up as a rare item in the future, in centuries to come.
Oh boy, I'm excited. I won't be there, but I'm excited for it to happen. What games am I playing? So I started playing. It's not Eastern RPG. It's not a JRPG, but it is an RPG, and it's called Divinity: Original Sin 2. Have you heard of it, SqatCobblr?
I have heard of it. I know the title and nothing more. What is this game about?
It's like a top-down isometric, and I played it actually with shout out Pompadorcus, Vivian, and Ultrajonic. So it's a lot like D&D, but it's definitely Western. It was pretty fun. I liked it. I think there was just a lot to it. There was lots of numbers. It is a numbers game, and
Actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with top down, I'm just always feeling like it should be RTS. So,
could it be the Choo Choo Boys are expanding into other avenues beyond Final Fantasy XIV? Have enough people's free trial run out that they now mandate that?
That's gonna be the next part. It's like, yeah, only the elite of the elite are in Divinity Original Sin 2. No, legit, Choo Choo Boys are growing though.
Shout out Andrea H001, popping on Choo Choo Boys.
Yeah, newest. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Free trial. We're there to help if you want to come check it out. Primal Exodus. But Mitzi Graysoul, aka the Gray Mitzi, joined us recently.
Let's go. The Onimusha warrior himself.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. Also, shout out Rexel. Okay, and I'm done with my plugs now.
It was mandated we get through.
Vivian is threatening me right now.
The only thing that could be better than playing the RPGs, than playing Final Fantasy XIV, is to not be tied down to a single spot. To be able to play them on the go.
No way, like something I can hold in my hands. Is that what you're saying, Sqat?
Something that could be handheld, you could say, yes. Imagine a device that goes with you and yet plays all of your games pretty much as well as they would play on a console.
Oh yeah, 100%. Retro handhelds in general. SqatCobblr, you right now, the proud owner of a Steam Deck, you're kind of the master of this kind of stuff.
I would say handhelds were my bread and butter for the longest time. In fact, it was the only system I was really staying modern with, I guess you could say, growing up. Had the GBA when it was out. Had the DS when it was out. Didn't have a 3DS, but I knew a lot of people with PSPs, with Vitas. So I was very plugged into that whole side of things, as opposed to the home consoles, where I was always kind of a generation behind, or owner of a Wii, proud owner of a Wii.
A modern owner, as it were.
Modern owner, yes. Handhelds are great. They're kind of not a thing anymore, at least in the official sense. I mean, the Switch is kind of like its own thing. It's like a handheld, but a console. That's kind of whole shtick, but also it's missing a lot of the appeals of handheld gaming's past.
Yeah,
it's been stripped down to its basics, I feel like, in a lot of ways. But nonetheless, that's the only one that's really left. Sony doesn't make them anymore. Xbox never really made them. In fact, the only strictly, I guess, handheld manufacturer right now is Valve, and really it's just a handheld PC as gaming device. So
yeah. Well, something interesting about that, I remember even like, let's say 2017, 2018. Did you ever see the WinGP things that were starting to come out?
The WinGP? I don't think so, no.
I'll explain it for you. I've been seeing this for years, and like I almost bought one back in the day too. 2018, 2019, I was kind of just like looking at emulation. That's why I got a Razer Phone 2, which, you know, like was supposed to be like a gaming phone. It was fine. I didn't think it was anything super crazy.
Yeah, if only the charging port worked, right?
Oh my gosh, dude. You know, no. Sqat knows the pain of that.
That's a Ratcon memory right there.
I do have a good phone now, though, that will hold it. And it will charge. It will fast charge. Okay, so it looks like I got that wrong. It's actually a GPD Win.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so?
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. No, but they were like these tiny PCs, but they were probably like $800, $900 or something like that. And when they first started coming out, like they were built to be kind of like a laptop, but with like built-in controllers and stuff like that. So you could be using like your keys, but then like either above it or on the side, you've got your analog sticks, a D-pad, and some buttons, probably some shoulder buttons.
Yeah, I think I do know what you're talking about now. At least I can vaguely remember. It's like a little laptop. It's like not very big at all, and it has like controller stuff on the top, right? The
Yeah.
keyboard?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I think I do know what you're talking about.
And I think that those were coming out of, I believe a lot of them were Chinese. And I think, in my opinion, that and the success of the Nintendo Switch is kind of what brought us the Steam Deck. That's my reckoning, is what happened. Is they're like, look, there's a market that's about to be cornered. Switch is already doing this well. People are now accustomed to this concept. It's time.
It's time, and thus they dropped it, and everyone who wanted it placed $5 down, and then waited for a whole year to get one, and probably didn't even actually fulfill it. So, not a lot of us Steam Deck owners out there, I feel like, but nonetheless, I've really been enjoying mine. It's kind of funny, Ratnado. I have taken the official tracks with handhelds, and you have taken the more risky venture into Chinese products. So it's a little switching of the roles there.
Yeah, this is not usually how we do it. Usually I'm like, here's money, just make it work for me.
Yeah, give me that official thing I can rely on, and I'm just like, sure, cdkeys.com, why not?
Yeah, no, I think, we wanted to talk about this because I think this is kind of just like a really big thing in both our lives, gaming-wise, for sure. But also, like, if I'm not streaming, if I'm not like doing some stuff around the house or whatever, I'm playing usually games. I don't read as much as I used to, which is, hey, maybe a bad thing. As Sqat said, like, I've started getting into more of that stuff. I bought the Retroid Pocket 2 back, I believe, at the end of 2020, somewhere about there. And then recently, I also pre-ordered the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus because it can handle systems of a little bit higher caliber. But I've also recently purchased an Anbernic RG351V, which, if you don't really care about all the numbers, it's like a Game Boy.
Yeah, it's like a souped up Game Boy with all the bells and whistles that Game Boys never had. Backlit screen, for one.
Backlit screen, rechargeable battery, and
no more double A's.
No more double A's, shoulder buttons. You've got, where is it? An analog stick.
Not one, but two USB charging ports.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think one is supposed to be...
I'm guessing one's for video, right?
I think one's HDMI out.
Yeah.
Which is something that I thought was really cool about the Retroid Pocket 2, is that it can kind of just be... It's on Android, but you can run an HDMI out onto it. So it's almost like the Switch in that, like, if I really wanted to, I could carry around a couple wireless controllers and go anywhere and just be like, okay, here's my console that I'm hooking up to my TV.
Easily. Yeah, no, I love having my game library on the go. That's something that I've always kind of strive for. That's I would often, when it came to picking a game, it didn't really matter that the graphics were considerably worse. I'd love to go with just the DS version or the GBA version. For the longest time, just because I could take it with me on car rides. I mean, why wouldn't I, right? Yeah. So now just having all of that together with modern conveniences like save states and backlit screens and recharging and all that, best of both worlds, right? You get your console quality games, and you get to take it with you. Except I'm usually not riding passenger anymore, so I don't usually play them in car rides. It'd be dangerous.
Yeah, what you really need is you want to be in the doobie teen seat so you can play your 3DS, you can play your Steam Deck, while somebody else takes care of that pesky driving.
Precisely. I have a very important meeting I have to make, but let's still go to this bar, and I can make it while I'm there.
Sqat's cutting it off. He knows I'm going to tell the whole story. But hey, I'll just say that doobie teen is committed to his meetings with AI friends in video games, and bless his heart for that.
They would have really been sad if he let them down. So I'm glad that he was able to make that visit. Cherry appreciated it, I'm sure.
What, Sqat, I'm going to tell you this. One reason I want to get into the handheld market as well, I'm going to get a Steam Deck at some point.
Do it.
I think after I've seen like how yours performs and how to upgrade it, because you said like it's pretty easy to get the extra memory on it, right?
Yes. During Black Friday, I got a SSD, 1 terabyte SSD, so I multiplied, I upgraded it but I got the base version, 64 gigabyte. And from what I was reading, aside from, I guess, like a better screen on the very top model, it's virtually identical between all three categories. So I just opted for the cheapest one and upgraded it as I needed to.
Very nice. Well, because the reason I want to do, I would love to do that. For me, when I think about using handheld stuff, a lot of it really is just the factor of finding somewhere comfortable to sit, and also power usage even. Of like...
Certainly.
Let me boot up my 2 monitors and my PC just so I can emulate Pokemon Red. And
whoa,
it's a bit overkill.
Man, let me tell you, if you're gonna go with a Pokemon, you want to go with Pokemon Yellow. So that's the one in color with Pikachu.
Yeah, but
I just know Mr. McLaudog is playing it right now. Shout out Sheriff McLaudog, but really Mr. McLaudog.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and also I hear Main Tater's about to start a Pokemon Yellow playthrough as well.
Yes. Pokemon Yellow is the one to do if you're streaming it on Twitch. Apparently,
there you go. Red's just nostalgic for me, but you see what I'm saying though, of even like Final Fantasy 14 and stuff, which is the other reason I want to get a Steam Deck so I can play it when I'm traveling.
Choo Choo Boys 24/7. It never ends.
It never ends. Because I had to travel a bunch this summer and fall. And the saddest thing about it, like I was driving like 10 hours a week. It was terrible. But the worst thing about it to me was that I couldn't take my PC with me. It was just way too much work. And so I would have to go 3 days without Final Fantasy 14.
It's like a lifetime right there. Oh. Surprised the Juju Boys even still existed after that, but hey, that just goes to show the dedication. They're willing to wait for you for so long.
Exactly.
I'll say this. Steam Deck, hey, it's great. I'm really enjoying it. It's much more computer than console, and it's much less computer than your full-on gaming PC would be. So it's right there in the middle. It can do a lot, and that obviously covers games, but it covers a lot more too. Just about anything you need to do on it, whether that's Discord calls, whether that's keyboard and mouse support, whether that's putting it up on a screen, it's all capable of it. Not always the most user-friendly experience, but you can do it. And I feel like around these devices, the Retroids, the Steam Decks, the analog pockets, there's always this online community kind of centered around it. And they, have a lot of the same issues as you will encounter, so it's usually pretty easy to figure out how to fix something if you just do a little googling. So, Final Fantasy XIV, I have no doubt would perform adequately on it, but nonetheless, can't say that for myself. I can only say that based on the hope I have in the potential.
Yeah. But you don't feel like you feel like it's done mostly what you wanted to do, right?
Oh, it's done absolutely everything I wanted to do. It just hasn't always done it the first time. And not even for all the ones you'd think of. You'd think like, oh, super demanding games, like that's going to be like, the hardest. Not necessarily. Sometimes they just work flawlessly off the bat. Sometimes if you don't have them through Steam, they take a little more tinkering to get working. But and then sometimes a game you think would work no problem has a big issue. I recently completed, finally, Super Meat Boy, the original.
Nice.
Samsonite D was strongly encouraging me to finish it. I had gotten most of the way through it, but I never fully beat it. So finally I picked it up from scratch and started it over and got to the end. But when I loaded it up on the Steam Deck, it was screaming at me. It was really, really loud, and there was no video. It's like, that's not good. So I realized I needed a patch or something, and sure enough, it worked flawlessly after that. But it's not always plug and play. I guess for people that are used to handhelds just kind of working, whether that's a Switch or a Vita or a PSP or 3DS or whatever, wouldn't exactly say to go in with those expectations, but very capable.
Yeah. I really think the reason for me is just that of like, sometimes I'm just like, I want to play Final Fantasy IV. I want to play a game, any game, for like 6 hours, but I don't want my PC to just be sitting here on for 6 hours. And so I feel a little bit better about that. I mean, you know, there is something, even though it's still a screen, of just like getting away from your desk and finding somewhere comfortable and just playing video games that way. That's really nice.
Exactly. Now, Ratnado, we both play a lot of retro games on the go as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Both of us, surely, but you especially have gotten devices just to play certain retro games on the go.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mentioned that I got the Retroid Pocket 2, which at the time was like cutting edge for getting into like cutting edge and PlayStation haven't been in the same sentence for a long time. PlayStation 1, Dreamcast. But they're like these handheld devices from China, Retroid specifically, and they were putting out the Pocket 2. And it was the first time, like, there's been like handheld console stuff like this that have come out, but they're like, yeah, you could play like Super Nintendo games and below, and that's it. And Retroid's doing a lot of cool stuff with their hardware, creating things, and the scene behind it is making it so this stuff runs really well. So in a way, it's kind of like the Steam Deck, except for just with like other things, you know, not necessarily PC games. Though I think there are some PC games that you can run on them. So I got that, and it was very like, I have my backups of my games that I own, and it's kind of difficult to make them work, but you can on the Retroid Pocket 2. And that's, like, as you're saying, I was the type of person who's like, I kind of just want my console to just do what I want it to do, and I don't want to do all the troubleshooting. But the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus Sqat came out, and it can now like reliably play even up to PlayStation 2 games.
Ooh, you're gonna have your Metal Gear Solid 2 going with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe with the free cam mod that just came out.
Yes, 100%.
Have you played through that yet?
I want to. It's funny you mentioned that, because I've been jonesing for some Metal Gear Solid lately.
It's time. The time is coming once again, and you know, I think it might be time for myself to return with Peace Walker, an original handheld title I can play handheld. So it's perfect.
Highly recommend. Great game. Peace Walker's great. I think that, and for everybody who's sick of Final Fantasy, I think 2022 was the year of Final Fantasy, and I might be expanding my horizons a bit more in 2023. So maybe we'll get back to Metal Gear. Maybe we'll do some new stuff. But the last thing I want to say is I've recently picked up the Anbernic RG351V, the Game Boy looking thing, and it has been very, I don't want to scare anybody off, because if you like retro games, this is kind of one of the things you need to get. But I've been learning and reading and trying to understand everything as I try to put everything on there, because it is the ideal way for me right now. I'm just like so excited to get it working. There's like custom firmware. You can like change your themes, and it's really fun. I've never had this much fun doing all this boring stuff, Sqat.
Never was anything so mundane, so investing.
Yeah, I always go to Sqat. I'm just like, Sqat, I don't know what to do here. What do I do? And he'll help me. But this is the first time, like,
never thought you'd ask.
Well, I haven't come to you because I'm like, at some point, I just got to learn this. Like, I just got to understand what's going on.
Yeah, I tell him to just check Google.
Yeah.
And then I send a smug emote.
A true IT person.
Have you tried Googling it?
But hey, it's Team Ratnado. If you want to check out the Anbernic RG351, I have some stuff. I know some stuff if you need some help getting it going. Just saying.
Hey, it's SqatCobblr here. I got a Steam Deck, and if you need help with it, I probably can't help you unless it's with the specific games that I have. But I highly encourage you to figure it out, because I think it's very worthwhile.
Yeah, it's really fun, Sqat. I don't know if there's any boomers listening like me who just have really good memories of your NES, your SNES games, even your Genesis, if you're a Plaid guy or something like that. That, you know, it's really cool. I don't know what to say. I guess I'm just repeating myself, but I'm really excited. I've almost got my Amber Nick up and running.
For most people, you just kind of have to experience it for yourself to really understand. So, hey, maybe just try it out. Get one of your cheap Chinese knockoffs, and then graduate to a several $100 Steam Deck eventually if you want to.
Yeah. I guess that stuff, like your Steam Deck could do a lot of the stuff that this is doing, huh?
Oh yeah, I can do basically anything retro, up to, well, contentious topic is Xbox 360 PS3 retro, but I can do anything up to that generation pretty easily.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of these are really well built. I've done a lot of research, and I think that's what's taken me a long time to get to where I am. And I love the Steam Deck. I plan on getting one. Sqat offered me his pre-order back a few months ago, and I was this close.
Yeah, back before I could afford it. I had a premature. I guess I reserved it earlier in the year when they went up, but I wasn't expecting it to be ready as soon as it was. So I was like, oh, I can't get this now.
And I'm this close to getting it, and I might still get it. I'm just like looking into like an on-the-go laptop for stuff as well, just for like specifically for streaming stuff that can handle it. And
certainly.
But, you know, who knows what'll happen. I think I'll also get a Steam Deck as well, but I don't know. It's fun.
Handheld gaming is pretty cool. No matter what you're using, just the very act of it.
All right. Well, check those out. Play those games. Thanks for listening to another episode of Scrollies. I'm here. I'm Team Ratnado. Things are good. Beautiful time of the year. Make sure to tell your loved ones you love them. Make sure to play your Donkey Kong Country 3 with Jangle Bells, and help someone out. Positivity, everybody. Things are going great here. I'm here, of course, with my co-host who looks like Diddy Kong right now with his hat.
Hey, it's SqatCobblr coming at you, telling you you're all on the nice list. Every single one of you, because you all play DKC.
And you're listening to this podcast.
Oh, yeah, that too, I guess. Mostly because you play DKC.
So we'll be back next week with the final Scrollies of the year. Let's just say it is potentially basic like Stoofers.
Oh, it's incredibly basic and mainstream like Stoofers.
All right, thanks for listening, everyone. See you later.
Bye.